Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha, Shri Sai Charita, Chapter 10, The Greatness of Sai Samarth. How did Baba live in Shady? Where did he sleep? How he inconvincibly pervaded everything is explained here in this chapter. His lifespan as a human being was admirable. Hindus and Muslims would move without fear with a heart full of love for each other. His secret of medicancy was described in the chapter 10. But what was Baba's lifestyle, where did he sleep, are described beautifully in this chapter. A wooden plank, 4 arms in length and a span wide, used to hang like a swing, tied to the ceiling by means of few rags are at both the ends. Earthen lamps were burnt at his head and his feet. On such a plank, Baba used to sleep. How he climbed up and climbed down from the plank was not known to anybody. A plank was tied by means of rags. How could it hold Baba's weight? But when he attained Siddhi, the plank was just a pretext. He could stay hanging in the sky without any support. What importance could a plank have for him? His clothes were like that of a sannyasi. His sadka was the dand of a sannyasi. He continuously recited the word Allah Malik. He loved his devotees always. Sometimes he had the look of affection for his devotees, but sometimes he would run after them carrying a stone. Sometimes he would curse them, and sometimes he would embrace them with love. Such in the manifested form of Sai possessed of attributes appearing in a human form. We have received this treasure because of the good deeds of past. Those people who thought him to be a human being were dull-headed and ignorant. The duration of Kali Yuga in 4,32,000 years, roughly 5,000 years passed when Baba appeared. Hence, listeners will doubt how was it decided without knowing Baba's date of birth. Having decided that he would spend his life in Shady, being its resident, he spent 60 years after renouncing everything. Earlier, he had appeared in Shady at the age of 16 and lived there for 3 years and again disappeared, and was seen the far off kingdom of Nizam, Aurangabad, Bid Nadin, Usamnabad, and Prabhani in Marthwada were in the state of Nizamabad before independence, and then from there returned back with a marriage party and then stayed in Shady. That time he was 20 years old. In Shake 1840, the Panchami of the Ashwin month in October 1980, on the auspicious day of Dasara, Baba left for his heavenly abode. In this way, Baba's age was 80 years, so it was assumed he would have been born in Shake in 1760, 1838 AD. The great soul who transcended time and space, can anyone be able to calculate his lifespan? Great souls are neither born nor they die. In Shake 1681 AD, Samarth Ramdas took Samadhi, and not even 2 centuries had passed when the great soul was born. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had saved the state from Muslims and thus protected the cows and Brahmins. After 2 centuries, the time was disrupted and there was a dispute between Hindus and Muslims. Baba eradicated it. He used to say, Rama and Rahim are one. Then why do the devotees put obstructions and behave indifferently to each other? How ignorant you are. Bring Muslims and Hindus together. Have good thoughts. Then only you will be able to go across the other side. Always think of one's own good, and Sri Hari will protect you. Practicing yoga, performing rituals, doing penance, acquiring knowledge are all means to attain God. But those who don't love God, their lives are worthless. If anyone harms us, we should not retaliate, if possible, oblige him. Just as a gardener of the kingdom of dreams turns into nothingness as soon as a person awakens. Similarly, in the world is just an illusion. This was Baba's conviction. There are many such gurus who collected a number of disciples around them and forcibly whisper mantras in their ears just to make money. They teach their disciples righteousness, but their own behavior is contrary. To make known his righteous merits, or let him name reach far and wide, the man who never thought of it was the Sai. There was no pride, but only great love for his disciples. Sai was such a nature. Whoever went to his darshan, Sai would tell him their past, present, and their future without the person even asking him. Friends and foes were equal to him. Blessed were the people of Shirdi. Sai was their deity. They constantly chanted the name of Sai while working in the farm, in their backyard, while grinding, husking, and eating. They never thought of any other deity other than Sai. Basically, being Nirakar for the devotion of his devotees, Sai Baba was manifested in Shirdi as Sai. Bodily Bodily ego has been abandoned to understand Sai. One should abandon lust, anger, low tendency, and the devotion should be emerged. The good deeds of the devotees have borne fruits, and at an opportune time they have sprouted in Shirdi in Sai's form. Sai Baba was embodiment of prosperity and generosity of six virtues. A person named Nanavali with a possessed personality and hefty physique lived for a long time in Shirdi. In that period, his behavior was excessively unrestrained. He was much particular about the arrangements of Baba's darbar. Sometimes, in his whim, he would embrace someone or slap him. Baba and he loved each other very much. One day, he held Baba's hand and said to him, "Get up from the seat." And as soon as Baba got up, he sat on Baba's seat. But the very next moment, he respectfully made Sai resume his seat and prostrated himself before him. This Nanavali addressed Sai as Kaka. After Baba's Samadhi, he became ill and passed away on the 13th day. Nanavali asked Baba to get up and he left the seat because he had no bodily pride. He had manifested on this earth to grace people. The purpose of the manifestation of these merciful saints is to grant favor to others. Baba was the lotus in the lake of Shirdi. The devotees enjoyed his fragrance, but the unfortunate ones only allowed in the mud. The story of saints always paves way to righteousness. Listening, meditating, and contemplation of the stories of saints sanctify the Brahmins, the low caste, and the women. If one listens to the story of Sai Baba, he will only gain. The ardent desire to listen to the stories of saints does not arise without God's grace. If the Lord is happy, the ardent desire to listen will also arise. To achieve this, surrender yourself to Sai and abandon millions of cunning ways. Recall always Sai, Sai. You will cross the worldly ocean. Have no doubts, these are not the words of Hemant Pant, but Sai himself. Bad company is always harmful. Nobody can purify the effects of bad company other than Sai. So retain the words spoken by the Guru out of compassion. Behaving accordingly means your bad deeds will be washed away, fortunately, if one attends satsangs. Listening to preachings, immediately the thoughts of bad company melt off. And then, with the detachment of senses, one bows down to Guru's feet in order to attain final emancipation. The only remedy is to have detached of the senses. One cannot realize one's own identity without satsang. Happiness is followed by unhappiness, and happiness follows happiness. One welcomes happiness, but turns away from unhappiness. Whether you face happily or turn your back on your destiny, what will be, will be. The company of the saint is the only way to liberate yourself from happiness and unhappiness. For those who have never prostrated, who do not have the devotion in their mind, have never sung bhajans, saints are manifested to grant deliverance to them. Om Shri Sai Nathaya Namaha.